I started.
Okay, let's go. Hey guys, Danny, back for part 2. Now, I told you I was going to tell you one of my stories that happened to us. And I called this one the Night of the Coyotes. Now this was a strange event that happened one night. I was up with my crew in late 2018. I believe it was between September and October. And where we were at is about 35 miles from where I'm at right now. And up around 6,500 to 7,000 feet altitude. There's a reservoir up there. Now on this particular reservoir, there has been quite a few eyewitness accounts. And I had about 2 or 3 people there was 4 of us. There was Toby's brother-in-law, and G. And there was these 3 other people that I interviewed that had interactions with some Sasquatches up on this reservoir. And I mean, they had some horrific experiences. All 3 did. Now, I've interviewed a lot of people in my time. Their stories were totally credible. And the reason I know they're credible too, because in that particular area, I have done, BG did a lot of research too. And as a matter of fact, we had seen one there ourselves, a male. So we went back. I wanted to do a night one. I believe that was probably my last night one I did was in late 2018. Anyhow, so we get up there, and there's a campsite up there, okay? And this campsite is where a lot of the interaction would happen. So we decided we were going to stay the night, and we were going to go out, about 9, 10 o'clock that night and start our night run. Now, the other reason what we were doing there too is because you see at this same particular time, I was doing some experimentations with different vocalizations to see what kind of responses we would get back. Okay? So we got our equipment all set up. We hiked away from the campsite, probably maybe about a mile along. We hiked alongside the reservoir, and then on to my left was the timber line of the forest. So we got in a position where I figured this would be a good spot. So we set up our equipment. Now, what we did is we had 6 different types of vocalization, okay? So what I do is this. We set our equipment up, and about this time it's about 11 o'clock at night. And so what I did was we picked the first vocalization. I said we'll go right down the ladder with it, 1 through 6. So we started with the first vocalization. We blasted out to the forest.
What?
And we blasted it out to the forest. No response. The second one we blasted out. No response. And we went through the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. No response. When we hit the 6th, oh my God, did we get a response. When we hit that 6th blast, all hell broke loose. From the campsite itself, you could hear canines going off. They were going nuts. Then, right after that, then we heard the coyotes. first we thought maybe it was one, and maybe two, three. No, 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 no. Not on this night. And this night, it was a pack of coyotes. Now, what happened when we threw that sixth blast out, the coyotes went into a state of paranoia. I mean, these guys were in a freak out frenzy. I shit you not. Yeah, we were all just looking at each other and we're thinking, what the hell's going on? When we've never heard of coyotes going off like this. Now, remember this. A coyote is a predator. And when you put them in a pack, coyotes are not afraid to take any large game down. It's not even afraid to bear a cat. Not at that point. Coyotes could take care of themselves as that. But I'm going to tell you what. Here was the good part. The coyotes recognized the vocalization, the sixth one that we threw out at it, that we blasted out into the forest. That told me right there and then that night, they knew exactly what it was. There was no ifs or buts about it. They knew exactly what it was. Now, but you ain't heard the last of it yet. So this pack of coyotes was going in a frenzy. I mean, they were going crazy. They were traveling towards our direction. Toby looked right at me and he says, Dan, they're coming right at us. And I says, yeah, just get braced to see what happens. Then all of a sudden, I think a couple minutes went by, then all of a sudden, you heard this horrific screaming and crying out like in agony and in pain. You know, it was like they were getting ripped apart. I shit you not. It made the hair on the back of our necks stand up. We're all looking at each other, what the hell's going on out there? I mean, literally, it's like someone was just like tearing their limbs apart. And this went on for about, I'd say about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden, quit. Went dead silent. Not a sound. Nada. Nothing. The canines in the campsite, they quit. Everything went quiet. Then all of a sudden, it was like a dead zone. Now, we did hear some movement in front of us just at the timber line. We were bracing, maybe something would break out. What happened that night, my guess is this. I believe that the pack of coyotes were out that night on the hunt, for sure. They hunt at night a lot. And what I believe happened, because I do know there's Sasquatches in that area, and what I believe happened is the coyotes and the squatch were in the same vicinity and might have almost crossed paths, and when we let that blast out, that's what started the chaos. As far as we know, the squatches could have got a hold of those coyotes, because that's all I could figure out. Other than that, there's no explanation for what happened. But the most fantastic part is the fact that the coyotes recognized the vocalization. And if they recognize the vocalization, then my point is this, then they must be real and they do exist. So that's my story of the night of the coyote, and that is true and factual. So I'm gonna let you guys go now. Okay, you guys take care. I'll see you next time I can see you. And you guys have a good one. Take care. You know me, man. I gotta go.